Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of From the Island. So today we have a very special guest, Captain Elmo Jayawardena. Captain Elmo is a famous Sri Lankan pilot. He's a best-selling author. He's also the founder of a humanitarian organization called CandleAid Lanka, which basically focuses on alleviating poverty in Sri Lanka, regardless of who you are. So we're going to have a very candid conversation with Captain Elmo about his early life, about his career in aviation. So I believe young people who do want to get into this industry can also learn a lot from this conversation. So please subscribe and keep watching. Captain Elmo, welcome to From the Island. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So just to start off with, I gave a very brief, mediocre intro to you, but can you tell us in your own words about who you are and what exactly is it that you do?
Who am I today is a man who wakes up in the morning to see the sunrise and see what I can do to make myself comfortable, my family comfortable, and to do something for somebody. That's about all. There's nothing else. If I may give an example, yesterday a friend of mine called me from Perth. He says that one of his friends wants to give some musical instruments to a school, some poor school. I said, okay, done. And he knows when I say done, it is done. So this morning, I wrote a letter to him. I know the school, I know the principal. He has written a letter, I'm attaching that. And he wants a big band, a big drum, and 4 small drums, and a mace, and 19, what do you call this? When you play like this?
The flute?
No, not a flute, melodica.
All right.
Right. So then I was training a pilot to own some musical shop. So he said below the selling price definitely, maybe below the cost price also, because I taught him free. And today everything is sorted out to get this whole musical setup to a little village of Kurunagala.
Wow.
Now what I'm trying to say is, if I went and had a great lunch and if you took me and paid for my lunch at Cinnamon Grand, do you think I will remember it the next day? But this musical thing, I will remember for a long time. I will coined a name for it, said Project Sound of Music. That's it. So that's my life.
That's awesome. So you started your career in aviation. That was the first ever thing that you did. What? No. Okay. Could you tell us a little bit about how you started?
I left school and I worked at Brown's as a mechanic, as an apprentice. I had a fantastic salary of 2 rupees and 14 cents a day. And from there I became a clerk.
Right.
Then I became a flight steward, right? And from there I became a pilot.
So what is it about aviation that appealed to you? Were you always into that as a young kid?
Never. I never wanted to be in an aeroplane, so people don't believe it when I say.
Okay.
But, sometimes this is what you call accidents of fate. And you end up in some place that you like. But I loved flying. How much I loved flying, I can explain to you in a very simple word. I've been in it for 55 years or more, right? I have only reported sick one day.
Wow.
Yeah, because one day I was playing tennis and I broke my ankle. Next day I was flying and I couldn't fly, put on the shoes. So I called the office and said, how do I report sick? He said, Captain, you don't know how to report sick. I said, no, I don't know. I never reported sick. And they said, don't worry, take the chain, you stay and come. So that would tell you how much I enjoyed flying an aeroplane. That's why even today I teach, even now at this stage, I'm teaching. And I'm very proud to say that I taught a lot of people and I never took a cent off for my teaching. Never. And that's a fact I'm openly saying. So if anybody has paid money, they will say, no, this guy is lying. No, I took. And I can tell you why I never took money also.
Why is that?
Very simple. When I was a penniless trainee pilot, there was a brilliant man, I got to tell his name, called Mr. Roy Dennis. In all the aviation I did for these last 55 years, I've never seen anybody who was so brilliant. He was really, really brilliant. Sri Lanka, St. Peter's College educated, went to the Royal Air Force, became a navigator. Now, he was a teacher. So he was teaching at Ratmalana, all the young pilots. Now, I couldn't go for his classes because I was working. So I one day told him, sir, I can't come for the classes, but can you help me with these studies? He had a beautiful way of talking. He said, boy, don't worry, boy, you come home, I'll teach you. So I went to his house, and he charges 50 rupees for the whole private pilot's course he's teaching. So I managed to get 50 rupees, and I went to see him. Of course, you go by bus and walk. Didn't have anything better. And he taught me, and when I tried to pay him at the end of the day, of course, he has some more to teach. He said, no, boy, not from you. He knew I was on Sad Street. And he said, I don't want to take any of your money, but you remember me and go and teach.
Wow.
I am still trying to pay that debt.
Wow.
Because I don't need money. I mean, what I'm saying is I'm not going to be greedy to say, hey, you want to learn, okay, you have to pay this much. You have to pay that much, right? No, that is not the case. I'll teach anybody free. But now I say to the pilots I teach, if you get the job in Sri Lankan Airlines, which is very good, the salary is very good, from your first salary, you go and give 100,000 rupees to my charity. It will go to the poor. So that's a very beautiful equation. Of course, I will never ask them. I tell them once and then I go away. Maybe some will come, some may not come. That's a different story. But I have to pay that debt to the man who taught me.
Very interesting.
Mr. Roy Dennis.
So that story is something that's driving all of your charity activities. That's what you kind of always kind
No,
of
I mean,
rather
there are
teach.
so many others. Also, but what I'm trying to say is, if you had come up the hard way, right, there were people that would have helped you.
Pull you up.
Now, they may be little ones or big ones or whatever it is. Something that you have to always remember is that you were helped. And in return, what you can do is that person who helped you maybe dead and gone. But there's another person like you walking behind you, right? So you owe it to that person to help this person. That is the philosophy I run CandleAid. I started CandleAid on that and I run it like that. That is why I said that if somebody comes and asks for assistance, we try to find out whether it is genuine. Because you get played out also, but that's beside the point. Then we will help them. But we never ask them to come back and return or anything like that. It's up to them to think, hey, I was helped, so I should do something. It's very simple,
So,
No rocket science in this.
so I'm curious, Captain, how did you were not initially into aviation, then you met Mr. Roy. How did you become so into it?
No, it's like this. I was paying out of my pocket to learn to fly. So it was very difficult for me. I was a steward, right? So I was paying. So I was, and I think I was good at it.
Okay.
Obviously, I had some talent, right? But I was working very hard, very, very hard as a pilot. So I got the breaks and I made the best of my breaks. That is the whole idea about it. I mean, look at it, I look at what I have come through. I just came and became a steward, right? Then I became a pilot. Then I became the chief pilot of Air Lanka, right? And then I left and worked for Singapore Airlines for 20 years, flying jumbo jets and teaching people in Singapore. Then I came to retire in Sri Lanka again at 60, and Boeing company called me. I mean, I'm not saying this with a lot of pride or anything. This is how it happened. This is what you call providence. Boeing company calls me and says, hey, Elmo, you like to come and work for us? This is how it happened, really. Because they knew me. I said, yeah, When? Where? Singapore, can you come? I said, yeah, sure. I told my wife, let's go to Singapore. I mean, people don't call from Boeing and ask you to come and you don't tell them, no, I'll think about it. You just go. I had 10 years there with them.
What exactly were you doing at Boeing, Captain?
Teaching pilots.
You were teaching pilots for 10 years at Boeing. Wow.
Yeah, because when they sell aeroplanes, they give the training to the crew to fly that particular aeroplane. You know what I mean? Supposing tomorrow you want to start an airline, you go to Boeing and you are buying a plane. Then you send the pilots to be trained on that Boeing plane. So my job was to train that pilot onto the Boeing plane.
I see, okay. And that pilot would then go to the other airlines and train them.
Well, yes, that's how it is. So
I see.
that was a very nice job I had with Boeing, because they treated me extremely well. And that also, when I was 71, I asked myself, what am I doing here? I was sitting in a nice hotel in Shanghai working for Boeing. Then I thought, I must be pretty stupid. Because you go down to have a breakfast. I think it was the Marriott. There are about 8 kinds of drinks there, no? There's orange juice and apple juice, pineapple juice, all that. Out of the 8, how many can you drink?
Probably one.
You can't take apple juice and then take orange juice. No? So, one. Agree? Now, you can have an omelette, right? You can have fried eggs, you can have scrambled eggs, half boiled, full boiled, quarter boiled, no boiled, whatever, right? But how many eggs can you eat? 2, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, you know what a hotel buffet is, right?
Yeah.
Then you eat a little bit and come. And that is exactly how it happened. One morning, sitting alone and eating, and then I thought, what the hell am I doing here? My wife is in Colombo, in Moratuwa, and we live by a river, high space. I could tell that whoever is cooking in the kitchen, hey, can I have 2 boiled eggs? He'll give me. I can have orange juice also, right? I can have everything. Except the money that Boeing was paying me.
Right.
Which was big, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, sometimes, now I was staying at the Marriott, they have something called hotel points. Now I could bring that and go and stay in the Marriott for 5 days. In this
Sri Lanka.
down south, there's a big Marriott.
Yep.
So people used to ask me why. I said, hey, I was in the Marriott. I came home. Now, there is no point in my going to another Marriott because it's free. You know what I mean? It's a very different thing, no?
Yeah.
I never went, and I never even knew that these points can be given to the hotel room.
Right.
Because it didn't interest me to go. So that's why I said that if you ask me my day, it comes when the sun comes up, it goes down. What did I do and what did I do to help somebody? It's as simple as that. So my career was always that.
Do you think you felt a little guilty of some sort in indulging? Like, obviously, once you come from a rough background, you said.
Yeah.
And then you became a pilot, you're earning a good amount of money. Obviously, there's a lot of nice things that come with it. Do you think you felt like a certain sense of guilt about the fact that you're indulging in those things? Was there an aspect to that?
No. Example is the best thing. Now you might ask.
Could you show the camera the phone?
Yeah, just show the camera, Captain. Just show the camera.
That's
Nice.
Captain Elmo's phone.
Yeah, nice brick phone.
This
That's
telephone, I can take a call. I just called you, no?
Yes.
Because my driver didn't know how to come here.
Yes.
It works,
It works.
right? And I put it off, it won't work. But if it falls, it goes into 3 pieces. And I take them and put them together and it works. You can't do that with your phone.
Absolutely not.
If it falls, finish. My wife goes like this always with the phone. So, who is the winner here? Are you the winner or am I the winner? Right? Now, I don't want to know the weather tomorrow. I can one look at the sky, I can tell the weather. I've been in the sky for
Yeah,
55
for so long, yeah.
There's no need for me to. What else can you get from these messages? If you get 20 messages, only 2 are valid. Other 18 useless messages, right? So you have to read those useless to find the two. How much of time you waste on it on a given day?
No, fair. I can't disagree with any of this. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, now if my wife wants to reach me, she knows this number. She call me. My children call my wife because I don't carry a WhatsApp phone. Then she'll get to. It's not a problem, right?
So modern day technology doesn't appeal to you at all?
Zero.
At all?
No.
Wow.
Because not for anything else, I flew a very high-tech aeroplane.
Right.
My whole life was high-tech, very high-tech,
Mm.
very serious high-tech.
Mm.
So I don't know anything. I have Alexa. You know those Alexa?
Yeah, yeah.
I tell Alexa she'll pay anything I want. And I say, shut up, Alexa. So what do you want me to do?
Fair enough. Good. This
That's
works out
fair.
perfectly fine.
That's what I said. No, from sunrise to sunset, I got to have a decent life.
Mm.
That's all, which I have.
Have you always been like this?
Yeah, I never had anything big. It was not important. No, what I'm trying to say is there's a word called enough. No. Now, if you don't know the meaning of that word enough, you're finished. Whatever you want to do. Now I'm going for this interview. My wife asked, "Hey, where's the interview?" I said, "I don't know." Because you called yesterday.
That's right.
You called my office and had told that girl, and she had told my driver. So I don't have to think where I'm going, no.
Right.
Because I know I have your phone number. So I came here. So she asked, "What are you going to talk about?" I said, "I don't know." They never said anything.
That's a surprise.
But what I'm trying to say is, why should I get excited about what you're going to ask me?
No, absolutely.
Very simple. You're not going to ask me whether AKD is good or Anil is good or Harini is good or any of those things. I don't know. I have no judgment on those things. But you're going to ask me about aeroplanes? Yes, I know.
Yes.
If you ask me about books, I know that something of that also.
Yeah.
And about working with the poor people, I know.
Yeah.
So I am not too excited how I look in this, right? Whether people will like me for it or not, it doesn't bother me. And with good reason. I've seen a lot of life, you know. A lot of good I have seen, right? A lot of enjoyable places. I mean, from my beginning, I told you 2 rupees and 14 cents I earned, right? And then I flew a jumbo jet all over the world. So what more do I want out of life? And my kids have done so well, right? I have grandchildren who are really, really doing well.
How old are they, your grandchildren?
My grandchildren, my eldest one is 19, and the second one is 17, other one is 14 and 12.
Wow.
Must be strange for you, Captain, with your phone and their social media and their phones. Yeah, must be a very big disconnect.
They think that I'm crazy. Because this is for average people to understand. No? This is nothing else. Whatever you record is okay. And my grandson is a brilliant young man. He's at UCLA. Very easygoing. He had only A's. 11 A double stars, 10 3 A's for A levels and all that. He had a sister who was 17 years. So she also same A's. So last time we were talking to her, I said, you know, you got all these A's. You never got a B. She said, no, I didn't. So I said, do you know that I also never got a B? Huh? You also so bright, then, right? She said, no, not bright. I was from down. I never could pass the C. Right? And she's looking at me. Hey, you flew aeroplanes, right? Yeah. See, more than enough. That's it.
More than enough.
What I'm trying to say is not to run down a pilot or his job. You don't have to have all these things to be laughing and being enjoying. No? Your life, what is it? That's simple as that.
You're basically saying you're quite content.
100%.
Simplicity.
100%.
So what if I am someone that's struggling with trying to be content? What would you...
My dear friend, it's like this. You are 24 years. You should be playing test cricket. You understand? You must play test cricket. You wait for the loose ball and hit it. and you try to score your century. Understand? When you come to about 40, 50, you must play one day cricket. You know, you can't take that long to play because you don't have the ears. A little bit fast. But when you are in your 70s, you're playing T20. Hit at every ball.
That's a great analogy.
It's simple, no?
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. No, if you try to play T20, you get out and go, no? That is the time you have to wait for the loose ball, right? And then score. You don't go to the offside and hit to the leg side. There's a stroke to be played and all that, right? But at my age, why would I want to do that?
Yeah, you're doing helicopter shots now.
It doesn't matter what I do. I'm 78. I'm going way past the winning post, right? But if I play Test cricket now, what is it about?
Yeah.
You tell me. If I were to see, I say I am going for an interview. Where? Panipitya. Now, who are these fellows? Right? Are they rogues or what? Are they trying to launder money or what? Nothing crosses my mind. I don't know you in any case.
Yeah.
In fact, when that gentleman called me, Rohan, right? I told him, mate, don't worry about transport. Man, I have a car and a driver. I can come. It makes it easy for him also, no? It makes it easy for you.
Yeah.
And what is the condition I said when I came here? He should talk about CandleAid, what to say.
Yeah.
Other than that, I didn't tell you to ask me what a great pilot I was. Because I was no great pilot. I was just a safe pilot.
A safe pilot is a great pilot.
That's a different story. I never had an incident in my life. So what I'm trying to say is, for whoever who is listening to this, right, there are so many things that are nice in life that you can do, right? Except that I call it, it's like looking at rainbows with braille. I wrote a book called Rainbows in Braille. How can you tell a blind man what the rainbow is like? In Braille, can you explain to him? No.
Yeah.
But he'll get idea. But we are all looking at life with Braille.
Very different perspectives.
It's what you think about, no?
It's very interesting. I kind of want to revisit that analogy you made about the whole Test cricket thing. Just to kind of make it a bit more actionable, you know, especially for our younger audience. What does that mean exactly? Okay, you in your early years you play Test cricket. Does that mean you kind of
When you play Test cricket, now I am not a cricketer. I just played a little bit of cricket in school, but I watch cricket. Test cricket is, 5 days you are struggling.
it's slow? Yes.
Slow because you have to be safe, right? And the game is long. It's a long game you're playing, no? Right? So you play slow, right? So there are so many things. So you have to be very cautious in what you do.
So don't take as many risks, is what you're saying?
No. Risks you have to take in life. But what I'm trying to say is, okay, let me put it this way. There are, at your age, when you come out of university or whatever place, we all want to go to the 10th floor. Agree? As high as we can. So there are some people, they come out of the university. The father asks, what do you want to be? I'm not interested in anything. Let me be something. So the father calls his friend, and that guy goes, gets into the lift, and he's on the 10th floor. Am I right or wrong?
Sure. Yeah.
Now, I know these things, you know why? Because I work with the poorest of the poor. I have more than 400 university students who are sponsored by my organization. I know their stories, right? So that's one way of going to the 10th floor. Then comes the next one. The lift is full, it's gone. But there's a staircase. You think you can go on the staircase to the 10th floor? Yes. Takes a little while more, right? Little bit more effort to climb 10 stairs, but you can get there. That's the number 2. Number 3, you come, staircase is closed. So you go out and look for a ladder. Then you put the ladder against the wall and start climbing. Most times, some rungs in the ladder are broken. Right? You have to crawl your way up there. But you can still make it to the 10th floor. Am I right?
Yeah, you're
There
right.
are people who make it. There's another one. The last man on the scene comes. There's no ladder, nothing. But there's a coconut tree. So what does he do? He climbs the coconut tree and goes to the 10th floor. I climbed the coconut tree, went to the 10th floor, and stayed there till I'm 78. Simple as that.
You took the coconut tree path, the hard path.
Not me, there are so many who take the coconut tree path. I meet people. Yesterday I was talking, I have an English course, I was talking to a university. He's a final year student, he's doing an internship at Sapugaskan, done engineering subjects. So I asked him, your background. Father is paralyzed for the last 10 years. Mother, himself, younger sister and the grandmother. So I said, who earns money for the table? Nobody. We get the Asvasuma. You know, the government gives us.
Yes.
Then he gets Mahapola. Then he gets CandleAid sponsorship. That's all they have. But he's climbing. No? He's not going on the lift. He's not going on the steps. Certainly not on ladders. He's just at the beginning of the coconut tree. But he'll get there. He will get there. And I'm very happy I met him. Now he's my friend, you know. And he doesn't know English. So I had to talk to him in English and he has to talk. I had this thing called special English program. So I asked him, how much do you get in your internship? He said, sir, I get $15,000.
Some dollars.
Right. Then I thought, but I can figure out why he said it. He has to tell me in English. No?
Right.
He's a 15 palos da kambuna mini rupiah. Now he has to talk in English. So in English, money is dollars.
Right.
15,000 is right, that he can figure out. Yeah, he's getting $15,000. You know. What I'm trying to tell you is the disparity of people, you know. Now, like my children, they had a great life. I was working for Singapore Airlines. They paid for everything. University, everything is paid by the company. Right? So, people would think, oh, okay, these guys have no problem, right? They go in aeroplanes and go to universities and all that. But they have a huge problem. You know what their problem is? Their problem is that they didn't have a problem.
Not enough hardship.
Not enough hardship.
What would you know? What would you know about being hungry? What would you know about not having this or not having that, right? So, we have to understand all that. I don't know what backgrounds both of you have, or these people who are watching this have. Whatever their backgrounds are, we are all back to base same line, no? Just because your father is buying you some new car that has come from China or whatever these people talk these days about some Chinese car.
The BYD.
What, I know what they are, right? Right. So, but that doesn't mean that you don't have problem.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's a very equal place. So, only thing is to think which kind of cricket you're playing.
Wow, that's super interesting. I do want to go really deep into CandleAid, but before we do that, Captain, I'm quite curious of your time because you said that you started off at Ceylon. So before Sri Lankan Airlines, it was Ceylon and then Air Lanka. Then it became Sri Lankan Airlines, I think.
No. I left when it was Air Lanka.
You left when it was Air Lanka.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you flying small trainer planes as well as the jumbo jets? How did that come to be?
No. Right along my life, even now, I teach. So I love to fly light aeroplanes and teach. I used to fly the jumbo jet in Singapore, come on holiday and come every morning to Ratmalana and fly those little aeroplanes and teach. Because that's something I loved always. So I flew all kinds of planes. That's why I taught classes. Last intake of pilots for Sri Lanka, they advertised and hired 14 pilots. 10 of them were people I trained.
Okay.
And free, yeah. And I didn't know them. Some of them I have never seen even. But so I feel very happy to tell you that. Now I'm telling this, if some these people can always call you and say, no, that bugger is lying, he took my money. Right? So that is what it is, So what I'm trying to say is there's so much you can do that will make you very happy. It's the same thing when I say that this of Kurunagala, those guys, they must be thinking, this pilot must be a bloody fool. I mean, we only ask and the buck is giving everything. 19 melodicas he's giving. Why? Because we thought we'll ask for 19, we only need 15. I don't know. But you have to measure life. That's what it is all about.
What was it like flying the jumbo jets? These big Boeing 777s, right? Is it called a 777?
No, 747.
747.
Yeah. It's like this, It's a great job. And I was working for a great company. That's the most important. My job was to train their pilots. And I flew the whole world. I couldn't think of anything that could bring me anywhere near what I had felt sitting on that big jumbo jet and flying all over the world. And you're asking me why I am not high-tech. I say, why would I need any high-tech, man? There you press a button and press another button, the aeroplane will go from Singapore to Frankfurt. So that is high-tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
High-class high-tech.
Yeah.
So I had that. For so many years, I don't have to come back and look for same things.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Can we talk a little bit about CandleAid? And could you just tell us who exactly is it that you'll help? I think you mentioned that there is no specific requirement, but could you just tell us a little bit more about?
No,
And I'd like to add, Captain, because I went through CandleAid and we've kind of like been involved with a lot of charities. Like we know people also who run charities. So one thing I've kind of noticed in Sri Lanka is, and I'm not targeting any one charity, but charities tend to select who they want to help. And one of the very pronounced things of your charity is you emphasize the fact that regardless of who it is, regardless of religion, race, whatever, as long as they need it, no questions asked, you do it.
Yes.
And this might seem rudimentary to most, but the reality of charity work is that's quite a rare thing.
It is like this. Now I go to the office. Most days my office is 2 kilometers from my house. At the moment my wife is in that office. We work. She does all the administration. When I go there, most days I can change the lives of about 4 people. Let's say 4 people. Now I have changed the lives of those 4 people who are in Kurunagala. Now they will get their drums and I don't know what else, melodicas. Right? And I won't see them. But I know what it would be like. So there are so many people. It's like this. They come. When they come there, when a young fellow comes with a bag on the back, I know he's a university student. Right? He's looking for a sponsorship. Right? The point here is this. Let's say you came. Now, most of them who come are like people like you. By looking at you, I know that you are good chance that you are a university student coming for a sponsorship. Now you are also thinking of how to put this to me, You don't want to tell me that your father is a drunkard and then you don't have money. In other things, what you are going to say is some nice things to think. But before you can say anything, I will tell him, answer is yes. What is your problem?
Interesting.
End of story, In Sri Lanka, the biggest problem is answer is no. What is your question?
Yeah.
That is the problem. How many times I talk on television and tell about aviation, this aviation, that? His answer is no. What are you talking? So what is the point? Right? But imagine if you came to me, if I said, hey, my friend, the answer is yes, what's your story? You immediately open up because you are so ready to tell me this and you're wondering what to tell and what not to tell, right? You are having a problem, right? You don't have food or whatever it may be. I said, the answer is yes, because I can afford it. You're not going to come and ask me to build a house for you. No, the people who come there, they are coming with such problems. If I see a woman coming maybe with a child, maybe they're hungry, right? So we can sort it out. We have a gift a meal program where you give some money to the people every month. So whatever they come for, we can sort. Right?
Regardless of what it is.
I mean, okay, you tell me what kind of thing will they come and ask? My daughter is getting married, can you give the dowry?
You've never gotten anything like out of the ordinary?
No, there are people who come and ask for things who are now my $15,000 man. No, I have I am definitely going to help him, no? Now he's got 2 B's and a C. I don't know, he's studying something to do with, he's in Rajarata University. He's doing a degree in technology, some big technological thing, right? So a person like that, now when I'm talking to him, I know his story, that his father is like this and all that. So we have spread out CandleAid in so many ways. Now we can ask him now, okay, you finish your internship, you go back to university, right? You will get a sponsorship from CandleAid, right? But when he comes out, you know how difficult it will be for him to get a job, no? So most of these students, I put my name as a referee.
Right.
Supposing there is a person coming for an interview to you, I call you. I call big people, right? And then say, look, we have helped this boy to study, and I am the referee. And I can tell you what is not in his CV. In his CV, he is not going to say he's hungry. Have you seen a CV like that? He doesn't say that I am borrowing shirts and coming. I have no money. They are only saying I played B team badminton. Whatever little they have, they put. But the truth we know.
Right.
We tell them this is the truth, right? And I will vouch for you. That's it.
What was your motivation to start this whole thing, Captain? Was that because you came from a very rough background?
No.
And if so,
It's
could you
like
explain?
this. No, what happened was I was in Singapore Airlines, and my wife and I, because both children had gone to university. They were paid by the Singapore company and all that. Everything was absolutely on a
Taken care of.
walk in the park, right? So then, but we are we are very involved with Sri Lanka in our hearts. Then I said to my wife, I want to start something to help in Sri Lanka. I went to a top man who was a big man in Sri Lanka, and I said, I want to try this, at least help education. So you're in Singapore, no? I said, yeah. So how can you do it? So the answer is no. What is the question? I said, I don't know how to do it, but I will try. Maybe I can handle it. I don't know. But if I fail, that's no problem. If I fail, but I haven't borrowed money, so we just close it. People laughed. But some people believed also, right? So we started like that because we wanted to do something to these people here who are suffering poverty. And that one we could do. The advantage I had was I was flying the world and I could go to Sydney and then talk to some people and say, can we start a branch here so that you can collect some money and send to some student in Polonnaru, So that's how we started. So we had all these branches, Melbourne, Sydney, right? Dubai, London, uh, Holland, in Amsterdam, in Frankfurt, all those, they were giving the money like that.
Interesting.
So that's how it started. I could reach out to people. And when I went and spoke to people, I said, look, and I was always on a flight, no, I never bought a ticket and went. I just asked the company and they were very nice to me. They would give me a flight to, let's say, Auckland. They put me on the next Auckland flight, Singapore and flying anywhere. And I used to always tell them, look, I came here flying a jumbo jet, not to steal your $10.
Yeah.
I had that credibility, no?
Yeah.
I could go and openly talk to them. No? So all those things helped a lot. And then my wife is a super efficient 3 computers put together. I'm telling you, right? And she's really a very efficient person. So she was, we have a very simple saying. I am the caparisoned elephant. Do you know what a caparisoned elephant is? No? The Pereira.
Oh, right.
She's the Kotangadira. Very easy, no? But you can't run the show without a caparisoned elephant. You have to go and talk to Kotangadina again and the Pereira. But Kotangadina natu caparisoned nanga bada good. To translate that, it is you need both elephants to run the show.
Yeah.
And don't forget, there are more than 1,000 volunteer workers in CandleAid.
Amazing.
Wow.
All over the world. I mean, I can't name, there are so many, right? So many top people. I now say you were asking about Dhananath. Now he's the one who worked with me on the swimming project, right? Now he's a CEO, he's a big man, but he's always the same Dhananath to me. If you know Professor Razin Sali, you never heard of him, get him here one day, right? A professor of economics. He's in the board of directors. Right.
Okay.
Right. So like that, my son who's in Melbourne, he's an INSEAD MBA man, right? And he's in the board. Like that, there are so many people. I can't mention name because there's just so many
Yeah.
people. That's the point.
Right.
I'm guessing it started off very small and it just grew out through a community.
Small and slow.
Test cricket.
Test cricket. Pure test cricket. Right? And that's how it started growing. But the thing is this, I had great people working with me. One was my wife. Then her brother, he passed away. He was a finance guy. So anything to do with money, his name is Danta Dimel. He was fully there. I don't know money in any case. Right? They were very good at it. He was very good. So that is one. And I had a very dear friend called Sunil Pereira. He was the devil's advocate. He was my good friend, no?
Right.
Because he could tell me to go to hell.
Oh, right.
That was very important. You know what I mean? When you're running something like that, there must be somebody who will come and say, hey, you're talking nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
All
very,
the time. Yeah.
very good, right? And then I had another person called Rajit Fernando. I took him only for one thing. He was a Singapore Airlines airport manager. He met all the business class Singapore Airlines passengers. They don't go in business class if they are poor. So these are the contacts I made, you know. He brought in so many then. That's how the original, then there was another person who was a very nice person called Ralph Gunawardena. And he was just a humanitarian. Pure on the street humanitarian. Then we needed somebody from the Buddhist side, right? I'm a Christian. This is M.D. Gunasena's daughter. I mean, everybody knows M.D. Gunasena.
Yeah.
Himali Sen and I. You know, like that. There were so many people who came. And different countries, you know, foreigners. We have a branch president in Frankfurt who done more work than anybody else, a lady. She's retired and she's doing all the work. So it's a very wide thing, you know.
Yeah, because there are multiple aspects to this organization is not
Yes.
just meals, but education, language,
Yeah, yeah,
empowerment in different ways.
yeah.
What's the end goal with it, Captain?
In goal is now coming close because I am coming to 80. Right. When I started, I
Looking good, by the way, for 80.
that's okay.
It's crazy. It's so
Right.
energetic.
When I started this organization with these people, what I told them was, if we work for 1 month and close it, it's better than no month. The adage we took was, it's better by far to light a solitary candle than curse the darkness. So we were not cursing the darkness. So for 30 years we've been lighting candles. So if I close it tomorrow, that's still okay. You know what I mean?
So, Captain, I mean, just to digress a bit, you did mention you were a Christian. Do you think do you think the spirituality aspect of your life plays a big role in how you kind of, say, approach day to day, approach, the charity? What do you have anything to say about that? What kind of role does that play here?
Well, my wife is a very deep Christian.
Right.
So are my children, everybody. I am a Christian, right? Very deep within me.
Have you always been a Christian?
Yeah. And then I was excommunicated from the church for marrying my wife. She's Anglican, I'm Catholic.
Okay.
And we married in her church, so for that I got excommunicated. So I mean, these things happen, it matters a lot, right? But I work with churches, I work with, this country has majority Buddhist. So we have to work a lot with Buddhists, because if you're helping poor people, there are more poor people among the Buddhists than in Christians or anything like that. And Muslims and Hindus, any of those people, we work with everybody, or that I say. And I am a person, I can say for the younger people who are listening to this, the most sacred thing I had in my possession was my flying license. That was my life. In my flying license, if you open, there was a picture of Jesus Christ in the first page. So I always say that Jesus Christ was my captain. So I was safe. I never had a single incident in an aeroplane, even now when I think of it. To walk away and then say, I had no problems at all, you have to thank somebody for that. No, it's certainly not my skill. It was providence. And I believe that. And I have to give back to the world all these things because I got it from above. Not that I was talented maybe to a point, but there's something beyond that point. And that comes from above on what you believe. You can be a Hindu, you can be a Muslim, you can be a Buddhist, but you got to believe something. That's what it is. Yeah.
Why do you have to believe something?
I think so.
But why do you think we have to believe? Do you think that's very important for just people in general to?
Because I'm a simple man. I have to believe in something. I can't think I know all the answers, no?
Yeah,
I hardly know an answer. When people sometimes even may be laughing at me that this guy, what is it all about, right? What I'm trying to say is the simple things. That's all there is to it, right? I mean, I'm not a deeply religious person who goes to church every day or anything like that, no, right? But I do believe that there's a
Creator.
And I'm not wise enough to figure out what that creator is. I'll tell you a simple story. When I'm sitting the night in a night flight deck in an aeroplane, which happened to be most of the time in my life, I sit there and you don't talk in the cockpit. The co-pilot is seated there, I'm here. I mean, we'll have conversations or whatever, but your mind is somewhere else. And I look at the windshield here. Like when you drive the car, you look from your windshield.
Yeah.
I see 1 billion stars there. Billion. So beautiful. And you see a shooting star going. You see all that, right? Because it's a pitch dark night. Then you have to ask, how the hell does this happen? And if I can figure this out while I'm seated in this jumbo jet, in this left seat, right, and if I can figure that out, then I must be a bigger fool than I can imagine myself. If I think I can figure that out, I can't figure it out. It is something so supreme, right? And I'm only looking at the Milky Way. That is one of the billion galaxies around there. So it is unbelievable for me to think even. And I'm sitting in my cockpit and thinking I'm a big man. Right? How stupid can I be then? It's far better to think, no, I really don't know what it is. Whatever you are, boss, you take care of me, I'll do what I can for the other people on ground. That's it.
Interesting. It's really interesting. So do you think you've kind of, from a young age, you've had a sense of purpose because of this belief you have? Like, okay, I have this thing to do in life.
I did the same mistakes. I say, to begin with, when somebody earns 2 rupees and 14 cents a day, what the hell can you do with it, man? You tell me that. You think I can meet a girl and say, shall we go for ice cream? Which you are doing, right?
You're definitely doing that. Captain's not wrong about it.
Yeah. So, we never went that path, that road, right? It was not there for us. So what? That didn't mean, that never meant that we are not going to enjoy our life. We had great lives. I met my wife when she was young. She was, I don't know, 18 or 19, something like that.
Really amazing.
So we had a great time. We've been married 50 years. I'm still scared of her. Right?
How did you guys meet? You and your wife?
Oh, I was on the road and she came running after me.
I think we better ask her the same question to see if it aligns.
No. We just met. I used to play basketball. I was a pretty good basketball player, and then she came for some match and I met. That's it. Very simple, you know.
Very simple. Very nice. Very nice.
Nothing big.
That's good.
Yeah, so Cap, just moving on a little bit, because I do want to I'm personally interested. I've seen you talk about different aspects of flying. Can I ask you what was one of the biggest lessons you've learned in your 55 years of flying?
No, actually, my 55 years of aviation.
Aviation.
I flew 40. But
flew for
15 I
40.
was teaching in simulators. But aviation is
Aviation
a
in general.
better word.
What have you learned about life from
No,
so
what
long?
I have learned about life is that it is so uncertain.
It's uncertain.
It is so uncertain that you cannot believe how uncertain it is. I take off on a plane, right? I had 2 engine failures in my life.
Wow.
Right? I mean, you're on a plane, big aeroplane full of passengers, 2 engine failures. But the point is this, I had both of them on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Now what do you say to that?
Oh.
I was rolling down London, Heathrow, no, not Heathrow, it was Gatwick, about 90 knots, 100 knots. My co-pilot shouted, engine fail, I stopped, got out of the runway.
Wow.
Very simple. Another day in Bombay, my co-pilot, I will always remember, he's a well-known guy here called Johan Pires. You know David Pires? Every tuk-tuk that
Yes,
goes
yes,
on the road
yeah.
is David Pires. His son, he was a great pilot. He was the co-pilot. Before my legs felt it, because you feel it first on the legs and the engine goes because it swings. He's already shouted engine fail. I stopped. So if I have this career like this, and look at it this way, this I must tell you not for crediting myself, just to say what providence is. I wanted to leave Sri Lanka as Ceylon because there was too much of political interference because I was the chief pilot. Then I told my wife, let's go somewhere. Right. So I went to Singapore on a flight, and in the afternoon we landed. I called Singapore Airlines and told them, my name is so and so, can you please put me on to somebody who's in your recruiting department? So they put me on to somebody called Mr. Lester, Eurasian. So he said, what's your background, blah, blah, blah. I said, what are you doing now? I said, I'm chief pilot in Sri Lanka. Okay. He said, when are you leaving? I said, tomorrow night. Can you come in the morning for an interview? Mind you, this is not Uganda Airlines, right? It's Singapore Airlines. I said, yeah, I can. Right. Then come, he said, for an interview at 10 o'clock. So I went for the interview. So I went and then he was there. There was another chief pilot there called Albert Coe. We had a nice chat, this, that and all that. And the chief pilot asked, hey Elmo, when can you join us? I said, when? Right. Then I said, I can join tomorrow. Right. But I said, I have a responsible job because I'm chief pilot. If I'm to leave that company, I had to give 3 months of working notice. I can't just cash my leave and come. I said, okay. I said, if you send me the letter from there, 3 months later I'll come. I came home and I told my wife, hey, I got a job with Singapore. She said, don't talk nonsense, right? That doesn't happen like that, right? Then 3 months later I went to Singapore.
Wow.
Not just anything else, as a 747 captain, straight. And I never flown a 747 in my life. They gave me everything.
Really?
And at 60, I said, no, thank you very much. He said, no, we are extending to 65, wait. No, I said, no, you got to go home. I came. Then I was training pilots via Sri Lankan Airlines. And then one day I get a call because I wanted to stop flying at 60. Teaching is different, right? My wife says, there's somebody from Boeing trying to get through to you. So she told the name. I knew the guy. This was a senior pilot. He said, hey, Elmo, you'd like to come and work for Boeing? I said, okay. So I went to Boeing. And then I said, I can't do interviews. And I also said, hey, I have only one eye. By that time, I had lost an eye. I can't see from this.
Oh, you cannot see from your right eye?
No.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but nobody knows because
Yeah.
I play basketball with one eye, right?
Oh.
No, the thing is, I went, then they said, no interview for you, just come. You can, one eye is more than enough for you, so you come, right? I went. Now you tell me, how does that man who earned 2 rupees and 14 cents walk into Singapore Airlines and walk out with a job? And at home in Colombo, get a phone call from Boeing company, can you come and work for us? Right? Now, I don't think that there are no other better pilots than me. There may be thousands of them in the world, but they pick me up, right? I don't know anything about the pulling strings or anything. I don't know anybody in Singapore. I don't know anybody in Boeing. I just went and had great times. And as I said, in Boeing, I left Boeing because there were too many drinks in the buffet. When I went, I asked, what am I here for? Can't even drink, better go home. And I was 71 years old in any case. So how do you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess part of it is, you're saying, is God, but obviously hard work.
No, it's not hard work, it's providence. You see, you got to believe in those things.
Faith.
You got to. I am not a person who goes to church and they don't even know me. Right in the church. I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm only telling you, this is what I tell young pilots. Hey, don't. What do you want to do? You want to buy the most expensive pair of sunglasses? You think that makes you a pilot? Right? You drive a big car, you think that makes you a pilot? No. Right? It's not so. It doesn't, life doesn't go like that.
It doesn't go like that.
That I can assure you. So whoever who's watching this, the young people should know there's more to life. Most of the time when I train pilots, I ask them, they come to me to ask for help. I said, okay, I have to, no problem. But can you tell me what you have done for somebody who you don't know? Most are the young people. So they can't tell. But if you ask me, I can tell till tomorrow morning. There's a difference. So I always tell them, at your age, if you haven't helped anybody who's not connected to you, I think you got your marbles mixed up. In some way.
Right.
Now people ask me why this government has changed and you are with a lot of experience. How come you're not helping? I said, what do you want me to do? Take a boat and stand in front of the parliament and say, Mr. A.K. Dishanayaka, sir, can you please give me a job to fly or train or whatever? I have never done that. I don't need to do that. I'm very happy with what I'm doing, running CandleAid and doing so many other things.
Yeah.
Right? They need me, they'll ask me, then I can go and talk.
Yes. And changing one person's life is
Yeah.
enough, right?
I mean, I told you, today I finished those poor fellows in Kurnagal with their melodicas and all that. I will remember that for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Right? Because that's what takes you, right? And that is playing a 6 on T20 match, no? Just imagine that. I could have left the ball, no?
Yeah.
Test cricket, you leave the ball. Otherwise, you jump and hit the other side. So, what do you want to do now?
Do you have any words of advice for young people looking to get into aviation?
Yes. I am doing an interview next week. Right?
Okay.
Because my last wish in life is to see, in Singapore, I trained pilots for 20 years, plus another 10 for Boeing. In Singapore, they select the pilot first. Of course, he's got to have a degree. Because here in Sri Lanka, you can become a doctor even if you are the poorest person. You go to school, get a scholarship to exam and all that. You can become an engineer. You can become an architect, lawyer. You name it, you can do it. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. Largely right, yeah.
But you can't become a pilot. Because it needs 50 million rupees at least to hand to start. And then you have to look for a job. Now, I just told you there were 14 pilots selected. When you had selected 14, 100 would have been going home. So where are they going? You can't get a job outside.
Yeah.
So, for you to spend 15 million rupees and become a pilot is a huge risk.
This is a recent issue, is it, Captain?
No,
This is not the case earlier.
Right along. I became a pilot because I was a steward. And I earn money, and that's a different story, right? But in Singapore, right, they go to the university and pick up 25 people. They have fantastic interviews. One of the interviews is a tea party.
Okay.
Tea party. Whether you can have a cup of tea, how are you talking? There's a lot to it, no? What is the point in asking anybody, right, who is Orville's brother? Right? Knowing that doesn't make you a pilot. There's so many other things. There are ways to select pilots. They select the pilot. Then
could you elaborate on how you select pilots, the best pilots?
In Singapore?
So you train, right, Boeing, and you work with a lot of pilots.
Yeah.
How do you figure out this guy is a great pilot?
I always trained pilots who were pilots.
Okay.
Already. Now, at Singapore Airlines, they had taken the guy, tinkered him to whatever they wanted, put him into a big school, got him out. Then they came to fly the jumbo jet.
Right.
Now, I trained him there. So, I had nothing to do with his selection
process.
I had nothing to do with it. I only trained him. But say the two of you, if you both come and if somebody who can play a guitar, maybe you can sing, maybe you can sing. Maybe one of you can't sing, right? Yeah. The moment that chord is given, this guy can't sing. So like that, when you see a pilot, you can see a pilot who can fly beautifully, right? There's talent in it. you know. Right. So you see that. But that doesn't mean that the guy who has not much talent can't fly. He also can fly. He might be a better pilot than this guy. Because if you are good at it, you become an ace. Then you are an A-team operator, right? If you are not good at it, you work hard and you become a D-team operator. But you are sometimes more safe than him.
Okay.
More safe than him. Now, when I drive a car, I never go more than 35. Now, you laugh, but that is the way I drive. Now, I don't drive because I have only one eye. But I have told my driver, under no circumstances can you go beyond 35. And he drives. Now, people will think this bug is mad, right? Now, I know my wife, when she gets into it, no, go fast, it's okay. But now, simple things. They're very famous. Yeah, go and stop the car, get something, but keep the engine running. No, I get very worried. I know it's stupid, but that's the way I think.
Yeah.
I said, no, if you get off the seat, put the seat on. I mean, it is the safety that is in it. So what I'm trying to say is, who can fly, who can't fly, is a matter of talent. Then comes the commitment, Even if you have great talent, you become nobody if you have no commitment. Because this is a very, very important, it's like a serious job. So you got to be in love with it.
Yep.
Right? So that is, if I may have answered you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Are there any personality traits that you see that some of the best pilots possess?
The best pilot, to me, is a man who's scared.
Who's scared?
Yes. Right? Because there are different kinds of pilots, right? I was always a scared pilot. That's why, I can see, when the car stops, if I'm telling that fellow, don't get off the car, keeping the engine running, because it is the fear,
Right.
or the respect for it, right? But unfortunately, a lot of people who come to fly don't understand that, They take chances.
They take chances. I see.
Right. I don't think I would take a chance.
So usually, pilots like that, do they end up would they be good to be a fighter jet pilot, for example?
Definitely. If you see, these are very, very difficult things to talk
Quantify.
on, and who's a good pilot, who's not a good pilot, because he can be acting, no? You want to interview some guy to work here, that guy comes and tells you a story that you would like, no? He doesn't say, I say, you have bloody place, what the hell is this? Right? He doesn't say that, oh, beautiful, birds, huh? I love birds. That's how they talk, no? That bugger won't know a bird from a woman. Right. No, but that's the way it goes. Right?
Fair. Absolutely.
So,
I get what you're trying to say
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay, because when I was young, I've always wanted to be a fighter pilot, and then very young, and then I went on a rooftop and I looked down and I was like,
End of
"There's
story.
no end of story."
End of
End of
Were
story.
you ever scared of heights?
Huh?
Were you ever scared of heights?
You will not believe this. I can't go in a swing.
No. Really?
Yeah, I don't know, psychological. I can't go in one of these, Katuronchila, what do you call it? in
The roller,
English?
the wheel thing, right?
Yeah, like in those amusement
Yeah,
parks.
yeah,
right?
If the bug is moving, I feel
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know these things,
So-
but I never felt it in an aeroplane.
How does it work though? I mean, given that you were in
Like
aviation
jumbo
for
jets,
so
yeah.
long.
It- all these things,
Yeah.
right? When you really look at it, right? You have to have a lot of luck in life, no? Come on, there are certain
yeah.
people who are hard working and doing so many things right, and nothing goes right for them, right? And the other thing is that you have to also be able to take as it comes, whatever comes to you. I lost my eye, I went to join Boeing. So what the hell? Right? Any other person would say, my God, how can you fly? How can you fly one eye, right?
Yeah.
It's no big deal. I play basketball. Last week also I played basketball with one eye. There's no problem, right? So it all depends on what you want to do, no? Right? I canoe a lot, right? The weather is nice. I put a canoe out and go out for 1.5 to 2 hours on my river, because I call it my river, because my garden goes to the river.
Yeah.
And it is the nicest thing to do in Sri Lanka. Take a canoe out, So
That's nice.
people ask me, why don't you wear a life jacket?
You don't?
No life jacket, no phone. No, because you know why? If I take my phone, some idiot will ring, no?
And ruin the moment.
Ruin the whole trip. And he'll ask me some stupid question. Right? And if I put it off and keep, then there's no point in keeping it.
Fair point.
Yeah.
So why? So I always tell this to my children, they understand, no point in arguing with me. Now, every day when I go in the canoe, before I go, my wife says, be careful, there are clouds, So I always tell her, look, I lived in those clouds. I know what those clouds are. But that is what it is. Right? So, taking a phone. What is the big idea in taking a phone on a canoe? Unless you put it on and keep, right? Which means your piece is all rotten. You will call and ask, can you come for the interview? It is tomorrow or something. And that whole moment is broken.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't need a life jacket. I can swim, no problem. I just peacefully go. You should try that. People don't try those things. And you know how much is a canoe? You have no idea.
No idea at all.
It's a one sport that you don't have to pay anything other than the canoe price.
Okay.
You don't maintain it, no?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, fair.
Now my canoe is must be 25 years old. Right? Beautiful. Very beautiful. 2-seater, 14-foot canoe. I got it from New Zealand. I just put it to the water and go and come back. That's it. And then the serenity of it, you can't explain to people. You have to go in it to see what it is.
Yeah.
And I do sometimes I do long range ones. I've come from Ratnapura to Kalutara in my car.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And you're 24 years, you won't ride, right?
I will not try that.
When I tried it, I was 55.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And there are things to do in Sri Lanka, right? And you can't say, I don't have the money to do it. Just water, find a boat and go. It's so simple.
Just doing things you enjoy doing.
Enjoy doing. That is the point. I love reading. I read because of my site. I use a
Audiobook.
Yeah, and I have easily 200 books in my iPad.
Not only do you read, but you also write a lot, right? You
Yeah,
write a lot
I write.
of books,
I
and
write.
articles.
Yes. Yeah, I love writing. Yeah, when I have the time. Yeah.
So there was actually an article you wrote. I believe I read that recently, Captain Elmo, regarding. So I am curious to hear your thoughts on aviation in general, but in a larger context. So the context in this regard is, in 1943, you spoke about this previously.
Japanese, yeah.
The Japanese have attacked
Listen,
Colombo.
I can't remember whether it is 43 or 42. Huh?
So let's just say before 45, before 1945.
Definitely before
yeah.
45, no, because I'm not an encyclopedia.
Absolutely.
I pick these things, but
But-
I know the whole story. Yeah.
But I think it was 42, 43 because that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
when the Japanese went
Yeah,
on
yeah.
their South Asian
Yeah,
campaign,
yeah.
kind of. So
You're right.
when they did come here and bomb Colombo,
Yeah.
you've written about this extensively.
Yeah.
Could you talk about that? Because I think there's a lot of misconception about the event here.
Yeah.
And, like people give a lot of shit towards the Japanese also. So could you kind of explain that?
Very simple. I'll talk to you as fast as possible, covering everything in the very simplest form.
Perfect.
This was the plan of the Japanese Imperial Navy. They went to Pearl Harbor, they went to Darwin, right? They went to different places with a fleet. And the fleet was pretty big. Aircraft carriers, destroyers, right? All kinds of warships. So when they came to Sri Lanka, they came to attack the British naval force here. That was their primary reason. They came from the south. So if you draw a line from Matara southwards, going south, that is where they stayed, right? And from there they came, 180 aeroplanes came to bomb Sri Lanka, Colombo harbor. Okay, there were 120 aeroplanes that was kept as standby. Now you can imagine how much I know the story if I can come with figures like that.
Yeah.
Okay, 180 came. It was the Easter Sunday. I think it was the 5th of April, if I'm not mistaken, whatever the year was. So they came, they bombed. Some guys bombed wrong and went and put bombs on the lunatic asylum also. Some people died, right, because they made a mistake where the bombs go.
Right.
Then the records are shown by different people. It is said that 77 Japanese aeroplanes were shot down. Wrong. 7 were shot down.
Okay. By the Royal British
By
Navy.
the Royal Air Force or by ground fire or whatever. 29, I think, Royal Air Force aeroplanes were shot down. So that means the Japanese 7, this is 29, not because the Japanese were good, because these were on the ground when they were shot down.
Right. Right.
Because nobody knew they were coming. So right in Ratpalan and in the race course, they shot them on the ground. So that is how the disparity of the figures. Otherwise, not that the Japanese were great pilots or anything like that. Then the attack was led by a person called Mitsui Fuchida, who led the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
Right? As a book called From Pearl Harbor to Calvary, written by Mitsui Fuchida, who retired after the war, a broken man, and became a Christian priest.
Really?
And he came to Sri Lanka as a priest somewhere in the 60s. Right? Fuchida. Then he's the one who led the attack. If you watch the movie Tora, Mitsui Fuchida is featured in a very big way there in that book. Right? So the Japanese attacked. Now this is not the end of the story. And they went back to the aeroplanes. Right? They came from aircraft carriers. 3 days later, they went to Trincomalee. They flew the other way around, went to Trincomalee, right, and attacked Trincomalee. And there, one pilot, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to figure the name. There was Takawa. There were 3 pilots in that aeroplane. They had engine trouble. 2 jumped out on parachutes.
Wow.
Right? And the third one killed himself by diving into an oil tank.
Right. Like a kamikaze.
Kamikaze.
Right.
First kamikaze suicide guy was this guy. Tanaka is the name, but I can send you the article, you can see the name. He put his aeroplane there. That's not the end of the story. Those 2 guys who came down, they walked in the jungle and ended up in Servaville temple. You know Servaville, right?
Yeah. I mean, what would that have been like? 2 Japanese guys, you know?
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling the truth. They went there and the priest there kept them. Right? So they would have shaven heads, saffron robe. I don't know how, but they kept them. Then they were put on a ship from Trincomalee to go to Thailand. They went to Thailand, and from there, one died there in Thailand. The other one, after the war, went back to Japan. And then, after going to Japan, he came back and became a monk in Thailand.
Wow.
Now, all these stories I have written in English, so you can read it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I mean, these are great stories for us
amazing.
to know. And when we are talking about the Japanese bombing, right, they said that Ceylon was saved because Leonard Burchell, who was a Canadian guy, sent a signal saying that the Japanese are coming. No, the signal never reached Sri Lanka. Never reached. And Burchell was shot down by the Japanese, but he didn't die. He escaped. They were taken prisoner, and he ended the war as a prisoner of war in Japan.
Oh,
And he went back to Canada, and he came some years back to Sri Lanka again. It was not his fault. He never said he saved Sri Lanka. It was a journalist in Canada who did it.
right.
Just like the charge of the Light Brigade. You know, the British were shown as great people in the Battle of Balaclava. It never happened like that. See, it is how people write. It is like Sarat Fonseca is not in the Mahavamsa during the war. No? So I don't have to say anything more. Right?
The victors always write
Yeah,
the story, right?
So this is what you wanted to know. This is what happened in the Japanese side.
Absolutely. And part of that is kind of like the broad aspect of air power.
Yes.
Because now you look at certain nations and their air power is supreme compared to most others. And those without air power, you're done, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to get like too political or controversial, but Israel and Palestine is a great example of one with air power and one without, and what happens in that situation.
You have to only look at one thing. Just look at the 6-Day War, 1967.
Perfect example, yes.
That is a perfect example of air power, you know, because that the Israeli Air Force, they were so good. You can't deny that. You know, there are certain facts you have to say, you know. Now, for example, I say that Mitsuyo Fuchida was a great leader and a great pilot.
Absolutely.
Just because he's Japanese, I can't say that guy is no good. Now, at the moment, I'm reading a book on a German fighter pilot. Right. I Flew for the Führer is the book. Beautiful book.
I Flew for the Führer.
Yeah, beautiful book, right? True story. Right. So, I mean, there is always two sides to it.
Yeah, two sides to the story.
Yeah.
So how important is it really, and what part do pilots really have to play in like a moral sense here?
In the war?
Yeah, I mean in general, because now you were saying, let's say you have 100 pilots that come out, but there are only 25 slots.
Yes.
Like for them. What happens to the other 75?
They try again.
They try again.
But that doesn't mean they're going to get in, because by the time this 25 had gone, another 35 had come with licenses.
Can they kind of go to the military if the military requires? No.
No. There is no military requirement now, no.
Not now, but
there is no war. During the war they went, no doubt. Yeah, but now there is no war. And also it's very difficult to get a job outside. Very, very difficult. For example, you can get a job in a big airline, but you have to pay a lot of money. Big money. 50,000 US, things like that. Or even more. I don't know what the figures are. Big figures.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. So basically from a piloting perspective, you would pretty much say air power is the most dominant kind of tool.
I think so too. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, during the Second World War, which I know something of because my father was a fighter pilot, so he doesn't talk, he never spoke about it, but I read about it, and then I knew where he flew and all those things. It is definitely a dominant one. And there was always that kind of some glamour, no? I mean, tank commander and a fighter pilot were two different things.
Two different things, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
So, like in the modern day, Captain Elmo, like we were talking about it previously, but like the story 2-3 years ago, I believe, of a Sri Lankan Airlines pilot who was flying over, I believe it was the South China Sea. At that point, there was a lot of tensions going on in that area, and there were live missile firing tests going on with the Philippines and China. So a missile had been launched from a destroyer, and the Sri Lankan Airlines, the plane was 30,000 feet above air, and the story, I believe, goes something like the pilot disobeyed orders from air traffic control, but had he followed the orders, the missile was directly about to hit that plane, because they mistaken the plane for, let's say, the Philippines mistaken it for a Chinese plane or whatever, and someone had It was a big mess, big mess.
No, the thing is this. I really don't know the story because when you asked me before, I was talking about a guy who was coming past Istanbul.
Istanbul.
Right, but you're talking about the South China Sea, right? So
Yes.
I don't know anything about the South China Sea,
Right.
but I know some incident happened
A similar thing.
to a pilot I know, and he was coming from Istanbul towards Dubai, and then this thing called TCAS, right?
TCAS.
No, don't ask me what the acronym is. I call it TCAS, and that's enough for me. That's the one that warns a pilot of conflicting traffic.
Okay.
Right, so you're going like this, the other one is coming like this. They measure it and they tell, pull up for this guy. They say, go down for him. That is how the technology works, right? So he got clearance. The air traffic controller told him something, but he got a opposite clearance from the TCAS. And we are supposed to obey the TCAS. You cannot question the TCAS. And then he followed the correct procedure and went up and he escaped.
Right.
That I know, but it happened, I think, somewhere between Istanbul and Dubai.
Okay.
Not in the South China Sea.
So that's a big mistake on the air traffic controller's part.
No. You know, I'll explain that to you.
Okay.
I was coming into land in Korea, coming on the jumbo, and all covered with clouds coming in here. From the corner of my eye, I saw a plane coming from that side. From my instrument here,
Yeah.
I didn't see outside, I can't see, but I saw a little red dot coming. And as it came, the TCAS went. Pull up, and then I pull it up and landed. Right? And as you land on a TCAS, you have to report that immediately.
Right.
Record that because that's important. That's it. Then I went back to the hotel. We were driving to the hotel. Halfway through, the guy stopped the car. The driver stopped the car. He got a message. He stopped the car. He says, Captain, there's a call for you. You know, I nearly fainted. I mean, it has to be my family, no? Who's going to go stop me?
Right.
To see that controller who was there. Sir, I'm sorry. Can you come and take that page off?
Oh.
I mean, how I said, I'm sorry also, but
Yeah.
it is already gone. You know, you write it and it's sent to Singapore,
Yeah.
right? And I can't do that. You know, there are certain things you can do to help people, but certain things you can't do.
Yeah.
And he was pleading with me, and I feel so bad, right? But there's nothing I can do, you know. So that is how strong this TCAS business is.
TCAS businesses.
Yeah.
So this TCAS is in essence what is driving the safety of human error.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Because in the modern world, like this situation in Istanbul, South China Sea, the Middle East today, it's a mess. And being
Of
a
course.
pilot is like, because I think, Captain Elmo, every week I hear of some flight crash somewhere in the world, right?
Yeah.
And do you see a rise in these incidents?
Yeah. No, it is not. The thing is this: the crashes happen with some reason which is not expected. Like if a guy loses his engine, there's no big deal. You fly and you lose an engine, and then you go with the other engines. But it's at that instant you make the wrong decision. And the point is that you don't have the time to make the decision also, right? It is just like that you have to make a decision. And that happens.
Right. Do you like, I'm not going to go deep into it, but Boeing has a lot of issues when it comes to manufacturing and safety issues as of recently. I think, you know, they're going through a lot of problems in the US because of it.
You know, Boeing built beautiful aeroplanes. The ones I flew were beautiful. I flew a lot of Boeings, 737, 707, and then 747-300s and 747-400s. I never saw anything wrong in any of those aeroplanes.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's like a recent phenomenon, right? In the last 2-3
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
maybe.
But what happens is it's the high-tech system.
The what system?
It's a
Captain?
high-tech
High-tech
system. You see, today, the high-tech system has taken over everything, right? And then the human error is also governed by this high-tech system, no? And that is where the problem lies. Some of the aeroplanes I flew were less sophisticated than the aeroplanes today. It's like your fridge.
Right.
I mean, if you remember the time you were born and you were 10 years old, the fridge was different to the fridge you have now. Motor car, it's the same thing, no? Right? You take anything. You take your telephone, I mean, we used to dial like this, no? Now you just press a button and then it is all there. So high-tech is very good, but the kickback is also very, very high when high-tech things goes
Wrong.
That's why I use my telephone.
The Nokia telephone.
Yes.
Can I quickly ask you what you think of the missing Malaysian Airlines?
I have no idea.
You have no idea what happened.
Absolutely
I am racking my brain over it, Captain. I have no idea. I really wanted to ask you.
No, because I must be honest with you. If you ask me about a crash, I can explain something to you.
Yeah,
But
but not this one.
no.
Yeah.
no.
How is that even, like, could you just maybe tell me how is it even possible for it to vanish off the face of the earth? Just
Unless
vanish?
somebody wanted it to vanish.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can look at it, no? There are so many stories. You know, it's like this. A long years ago, an aeroplane called Stardust, right, crashed in South America. I think it was 1947. If you Google it, you'll see it. What do you call that? What do you call this other thing that when you press and ask how long is the Great Wall of China, and it will tell you the answer.
You mean ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Right.
It tells everything now.
Yeah.
But you know, it is so wrong sometimes.
It is, yeah.
I pressed and asked that who were the first 5 pilots who went to the Second World War from Sri Lanka. You know the answer? He said, General Denshil Kobbekadua. I mean, that gentleman never flew a plane in his life. He's someone who died, no? Right?
Right.
I mean, so because I know it, I know
Yeah.
he's not telling the right thing, you know. So you never know what it is all about.
What it is.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So this was good.
Yeah, we do want to wrap up now, but before we wrap up, just a quick question about CandleAid again. If there is someone watching who does want to get involved with it, is there a process to this? How can they get involved?
Just they can look at the website.
Just go to the website and just...
www.candleaid.org tells everything
Perfect.
that we do, and we have a lot of projects that are still going on, but we are slowly downsizing. We are not closing it.
Okay.
We are downsizing it because we want to do education and sponsor 250 A-level students and 250 university students. So we want to bring it down to 500 students. That is manageable without office. Kind of a virtual office, because we are not getting younger now. I'm not getting younger anymore. So there's a lot of work involved. So we haven't just woken up and tried to do it. No, we've planned it for years. The way slowly we will go. But even now, there are people who say, no, this is a beautifully marketable thing, right?
Yeah.
It's all very honest, everything. We would like to come in, but I always tell them, you know, say, both of you want to come and do that. That's fine. But I know what it is. It's a very so I prefer somebody coming and copying this thing and doing it now. But I don't want, after 30 long years, we got to make sure that part of because my directors also, you know, some people died and some people left, you know, not for any other reason other than very personal things that they had to leave. And my wife is not much younger than me. So between the two of us, we are about 150 plus years. So it's a lot of age to do. And also, we want to do other things, you know. I probably would like to write another book, you know, if I can, right? And then spend time going to see grandchildren and things like that, which are difficult. We find it difficult to do a lot of things because of the work that we have every day, day-to-day work. Because it's other people's money, you know, that we are spending. So if somebody gives some money, this morning my wife was telling me a Singaporean lady had gone on a trek, some big trekking trip, and collected money. And she doesn't know who these people who are going to get this money. She had written to my wife and she's saying, I'm sending you all this money. Please do whatever you want. I mean, that is a very common thing we hear. You know, not Singaporean. There are so many people who do that. And they say, continue. But, you know, we also have our limitations now.
Of course.
So 30 years is enough. You can take over. Come and take over.
So if people want to volunteer, please visit the website.
That's it.
Right? And contact CandleAid.
Yeah.
And start your own CandleAid as well.
Or start your own CandleAid,
Yeah. I mean, my number one thing was that because you don't have to build a Great Wall of China here. Just do something, no? Light a candle. That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you can only think of it that way, because you're always cursing the darkness, no? It's dark. Then take a damn candle and light it, and do something for somebody. In fact, if you looked at my emails, which I have sent you, it has a story of a starfish. You know, how when that story of that person taking the starfish and throwing back to the sea, it made a difference to that starfish, right? That's what we want to do here. When I tell you about that boy who at Sapugaskanda, right? This one guy, you know, I can't chase all the people who are poor university students and everything, but this one came across my life, right?
Yeah.
So I can call some people and say, hey, at least give him an interview, right?
Yeah.
But he can't do that, no? From the background that he's coming, he's a coconut tree man.
Yeah.
So please remember that.
Yeah.
Do you think life is unfair for some?
No.
No, you think it's not unfair?
Then I must be the same thing. But I had to ask, no, how come I have one night? I don't say I have lost an eye. I said I have one night.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you tell me how many times we get disappointed for nothing, man. Sometimes in the raining you're disappointed.
True.
Right? I can't go out, it is raining. If you can't go, read a bloody book at home. Simple as that.
True. I think human beings mainly have negative thoughts throughout the day.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much negative. That is what I say, that I don't want to go to this extreme and wear a saffron robe and sit under the tree. Right? I don't want to go to this end and earn all the money that I can. I can still earn money. Can teach and earn money. Right? But I want to be here so that I can enjoy my life from sunrise to sunset. Very simple. You know? I mean, if you really look at it, if you are off the record, I can tell you so many things, but you are recording.
We'll do it off the record once it's done.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't have money. Right? I never had money. I don't know what money is. Right? My wife gives the money to my driver. If he wants anything, give it to him. Because I don't know how much I earned, and I don't go to the bank. I don't know how to go to a bank and get money from there. Nothing to do with money.
Wow.
No, I'm telling you seriously. So many people ask me how much what Singapore Airlines like. I said, I don't know. Ask my wife. She's the only one who knows how much they paid me. Because I don't have anything to do with money. Then I can earn. I mean, I was teaching 45 pilots, and all those guys are driving big cars and coming. If I told them each class is Okay, 3 days classes, 100,000 each. They would jump and pay. Right? But what am I going to do with it? Buy a new pair of shoes. At the end of the day, what am I going to do with it?
I think that so speaks to why you seem so young and seem so energetic, more at peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
100%.
Because of that mindset.
Yeah.
I drink one drink on Sunday, one drink on Wednesday.
Okay.
That's it. I was never a drinking man. I mean, I enjoy a nice drink. But my nice drink has nothing to do with malt whiskey or that whiskey and this whiskey. Recently, one fellow asked me, Captain, I want to come and visit you. What do you drink? I said, what do you drink? I drink anything. I mean, I don't know if he brings a big top-class whiskey, I drink that.
Yeah.
If he brings me a red label, I drink that.
He's going to bring 8 drinks from Marriott.
That is it. I mean, you know what people are so... Sometimes they don't understand that it's not the malt whiskey you drink. It's the company you drink with, no?
Wow.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
What is the point in sitting with an idiot and drinking, I don't know, what the top whiskeys are? Right? Or you go and buy, I like that, there's a famous grouse.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I don't know how much it is. I don't pay for it. No, my children give it. No, and one of those is enough for me. In fact, yesterday, I had a lovely drink. Yesterday's Sunday. I had a Hull Miller.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Have you drunk
Yes,
that?
I've
Mhm.
drunk some, yeah.
It was very nice.
Yeah, dangerous.
For me, just some ice in it, it was a super drink. Hull Miller. So, if I can, what I'm trying to say is, I have also seen all these big liquor snowmen going to different places in the world, but do they really mean anything to us? What is wrong with Hull Miller?
Yeah. I personally like it.
Be content, basically.
Be content.
Be content.
No, what I'm trying to say is, drink. I also now, I love to eat. I mean, I eat carefully, but I love nice food. But
Yeah.
my nice food can be a Gudamurati from the junction, right? Definitely my nice food is not this big restaurant. I get mad when I go to this restaurant, with all these fancy things. My best restaurant in Colombo is a place called Thai, House of Thai, or Siam House.
Okay, I've heard of this.
Siam House. They know me, they know what I eat also. I don't have to look at the menu card. No, I'm just saying
No,
for
I get
all
it.
Yeah,
young
of course.
people.
Absolutely.
Take
we
it
get it.
easy, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I've seen it all. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I mean, I got 2 children who have done extremely well, extremely well. And they did simple lives,
Simple lives.
That's what it is all about. As at your age, it's test cricket time. Huh?
Yeah, I think the issue, and you can correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but the issue is partly maybe everyone our age is. It feels like we have a lot of time, and then on the other hand, it feels like we have no time remaining.
Yeah.
And part of that is obviously social media, because
Yeah.
now we're not just competing with people in our neighborhood or in our city, right?
Competing
Now
globally.
we're competing
With the
globally.
world. Oh,
Yeah.
it's the world. No, this is what I'm saying. My education was I failed my O level twice. So what more can I say, right? But I made it. I climbed that coconut tree and I made it. And I educated myself by reading books. My daughter always says, she's an English honors and barrister, right? She says, I can never even talk to you about books because I have read everything that she can think of.
Wow.
I'm always reading books, right? That gave me a huge amount of knowledge, basic knowledge,
Yeah.
nothing to talk about, right? Can I tell you a story?
Of course.
Please.
I get invited to give talks, right? And my wife always says, for 2 days before the talk, she'll say, now what are you going to talk about? I said, you know me, no? I talk something there. And then she says, now she doesn't say that. She knows no point. Well, I feel free to talk. You know, I can just go and talk, right? And not that I'm not trying to become a great talker, no. Yeah, if I'm going to have marks for the talk, then I have to worry about it. Right?
Yes.
Now you give me Ulunduwadi, I'm happy. How did you know that I eat Ulunduwadi?
You just know, Captain.
Because that guy I do with this aviation voice,
Yeah.
he wanted to have lunch because we go on sometime to. I said, give me two Ulunduwadi, matter is sorted out.
And a plenty.
You told us you are simple, live a simple life, so simple stuff.
Very soon, I'm very happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give a talk at a prison in Singapore. Changi prison is very big. They invited me to say something. So I said, okay, fine, I'll go. So again, my wife asked, what are you going to tell them? I said, how do I know what I thought? I'm going to tell them I don't know who they are. You know, I mean, if you call me, I know what kind of people you will be. But these guys, I don't know. I haven't associated any criminals in Singapore. So I went there. Oh, when I got into the hall, they were all seated on the ground, you know, short sleeve thing and crew cut and tattoo and all that. I thought, Jesus Christ, what the hell am I going to tell these guys? Went up. Only thing, there was one of those podiums and things that I didn't do that. I came and sat on the stage, on the ground. They are on the ground, I am on the stage, one step higher. I spoke for 1 hour to them. Or it's like what I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Then, when we finished, question time came, with some questions asked. One tough-looking guy raised his hand up. Said, can I come and give you a hug? I said, yeah, sure. Come on. He came, he gave me a hug and he had tears pouring down his eyes. I mean, I'm telling you the truth, I don't have to lie to you.
Yeah, of course.
It felt so, I don't know, I didn't feel happy about it. I didn't feel sad about it. I felt wasted about it. You know, could not I have done more for him?
Right.
That was what crossed my mind. Anyway, I knew that he was moved. So I went away, no problem. 6 months later, my daughter moved to Singapore with her husband. And one day she came and said, hey, you know, I had a fantastic thing happen to me. You know, what is a fantastic thing? You know, we went to buy furniture. And the guy was very nice and he was talking to us, asked me where I am from. So I said, I'm from Sri Lanka. And he asked me, do you know Captain Elmo? She said, yes, I know him.
From the time I was born.
Yeah, exactly. And then she asked him, why do you ask me that? How do you know him? I said, no, it doesn't matter, but I know him. So my daughter was very curious because she knows I will never go to buy furniture. I mean, I got nothing to do with this, the furnishing the house business, right? Then he said, I'll tell you, you know, madam, I was in jail when your father came and gave a talk. I will never forget him.
Wow.
You know, I'm telling you, if I got invited to speak to the UN, I won't be so happy. You know what I mean? I mean, you know with what pride I'm telling you this, right? Now, if I came in a fancy shirt and fancy shoes and all that, you won't be thinking about it, right? But you might think of this man who told my daughter, and what do you think my daughter would have felt?
Yeah.
As
so
a young
proud.
girl, when the man says, I'll never forget him, he came and gave a talk when I was in jail, right? You know, such things are so valuable in life.
That's beautiful. That's a...
You know, and we don't even understand how beautiful they are. That is the sad part.
And you would say that is what we should strive for, that feeling.
Yeah, that feeling, I mean, that is a cheap feeling if you can be nice to people. And I have had it so many times in simple places. You know, I don't want to be telling all these things, but the things that made me happy was not being invited by Hans Vijayasuriya. You have heard of Hans Vijayasuriya. He is a good friend. when he asked me to come for dinner, I hate it. Because he talks in a different world. I don't belong to that world. I mean, he's a lovely man. He works with us in CandleAid in a big way. He has a special fund for people who do bypasses and all that. All that is fine with him, right? But his answer is he's good to go and talk to dialogue big businessmen. For me, I don't belong there. I don't belong there. And I'm very happy I don't belong there. It's a different ball game for me.
But you seem truly happy.
I am.
Rather than happy, you seem truly content.
Content is so.
Yeah.
And it is not something that, I can tell you, you're not recording, no?
We are.
We are recording.